Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Leaders Talk. I'm your host, Swarnika Porwal, a media graduate from London. Please welcome our guest speaker for the day, Dr. Zoya Wasim Sheikh, Managing Director of Z EduTech. Dr. Zoya, how are you today?
Hi Swarnika, I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And this is Dr. Dhirendra Gautam, Chairman of Navi Mumbai Chamber of Business and Industries and the founder of Great Human University. Dr. Gautam, how are you today?
Fine, thank you, Swarnika. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. In our today's episode, we will be talking about women leadership and empowerment in the corporate world. I'll now hand over the lead to Dr. Gautam to start with our first question. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Swarnika. And would like to welcome Dr. Joya for our leaders talk. Uh, why not you start, Joya, with your current organization, what you do, and what kind of things you are doing at your current role for our viewers.
Okay. So thank you so much for inviting me for today's talk. I'm Dr. Zoya Wasim. I am serving as the managing director for Z EduTech. Now, Z EduTech is now my own company since 2009, and I've been in the leadership role. This company is all about learning and development, and the company specializes in sales, behavioral, team building, and there are a lot of signature workshops that we do for various different level of corporate audience and the institutions also. So we have also been catering to the Indian Army since 2010, and they have been one of our esteemed clients in our projects. And lot of different communities also we are serving. Like I have a community of the students, I have a community of women entrepreneurs. So we are also enabling and imparting a lot of knowledge. I have a community of entrepreneurs. So we are kind of catering to these communities also.
Great. See, at today's leaders talk, we are primarily going to discuss how we can or how we should be transforming the women's leadership in corporate and business.
Hmm.
Uh, I would like to have an understanding from you with some research data where it is says that when women workforce start at the beginning of their career,
Mhm.
male and female ratio is around 48 to 52%. It means 48% females and 52% male joins any organization or corporate business as a employee or as a various management role or a starting level.
Hmm.
But the research says that when it starts growing and when it goes to the upper level positions like senior manager, the women's are only 21% globally. I would like to understand why this kind of reduction is there and why around 80% of the women's they never able to approach and achieve those leadership role in the corporates especially or in even business.
Um, See, the statistics that you gave is very, very accurate actually. 48% of women in the workforce when people join in, and 52% of the male workforce. That means it's very close to 50-50% of both the
Yeah,
genders. Very close to equal contribution of both the genders when the work begins, I would say, overall, if we check. So, here it is very important to understand there is not one single gender that is contributing to the country's economical development. Simply, even if one gender is not contributing, the economy will directly come down by 50% because it's an equal contribution over here. Now, what happens is in the beginning, there is equivalency, or you can see that balance between the men and the women workforce. But you just told me that so many women take a backhand mostly in their early career days or the mid career days. So, there is a lot of reality check behind this. When we talk about the early career days or the mid career days, so are we talking about women between the age group of around 22, if I consider to be an early career, 22 to 23 years approximately?
right, right,
And if I say mid career should be around when they reach their 30 years of age. 30 to sometimes 35 should be the mid career range.
right,
And this is the time when actually, if you check the statistics, most of the women start to come out of the roles, or sometimes they quit, sometimes they take a break.
right.
So, the major reason is we staying in India. According to Indian cultures, this is an age usually when majority of the women they get into relationships or they get married or they have plans to settle down with some family things, or most of the women also undergo the maternity in this particular days. Usually the first child usually comes in this age range only 23, 25 years to around 35 years of age, correct? So
Right.
there is a kind of change that we are actually seeing in these women's life. Now, because of this women's life, I'll tell you the major reasons what happens. When a woman gets married, according to our Indian traditions, a woman goes to the man's house or the man's place.
Right.
So, isn't that true that sometimes there is relocation?
Yep. Yeah.
It's not necessary that you get married to your neighbor only all the time.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
many a times there is relocation in the women's career once she gets married or committed to a family or relationship.
Right. Right.
So this is one of the main reasons that you have to quit to your current position or maybe take a break to settle down with your new place or location until you find new opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Then some women, okay, abhi Indian traditions, but it is also so common, no, that okay, you can work now, but as soon as you're married, we don't want our wives to work, or we do not want our bahus or our daughter-in-laws to work. So
Right.
there are so many, I would say 8% of the families who belong to the lower middle class or the middle class or even the higher middle class, I would say to that extent, have this mindset that the women who's coming to our house shouldn't work post marriage. So this has been a condition for marriage,
Right.
many cases, correct?
Right.
So that becomes
Yep.
another reason for women to leave the workforce or maybe take a pause for that moment, take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Major reason because ये transformational age है ना जब when they are in the
Right.
junior to middle management. Then another
Yes.
such reason is sometimes even if they are working, then the second thing is next thing is maternity. Now,
Right.
maternity is something again unavoidable. Once you have a very, there are so many women who work until the ninth month of carrying a child in their womb. But once the
Yep.
child is born, that tender thing, only a mother is expected to be with the child all the time and not the father. It is
Right.
like, it is a joint agreement between a mother and the child that mother has to be there for the child. So maternity is a compulsory break. So
Right.
mostly ये areas में this is the most relevant reason I would say. Abhi, when I talk about more on this, what happens is, do you want me to add more or you have some add-on questions to this?
See, you are going to very relevant points, like the responsibility of relationship and responsibility of motherhood. At the same time, relocation of like the woman from one city to another city, and especially in a country like which in India, which is a big city, like but it is spread all over from north to like south and from east to west, like it's a big country.
Correct.
And so that happens one of the major reason. See, I was reading just one article and there was a research which was saying in if the women workforce who are sitting, whatever is the reason they are idle, if they are come back to the mainstream business or corporate of the Indian like business and like corporate environment, the what India is planning to have the 5 trillion economy, it can happen by just women workforce joining in the business and the corporate. So whatever you are saying is really right. Like many women are impacted because of this reason. But I would just want you to understand, ki, of course, yes. What is this like issue is there? Like when we were doing the research, like in Great Women University, we did around thousands of the women we have researched, and we asked them, like this mid-career women who are of 30, 35, and between 30 to 40, we conducted this research, and we find it out, and we asked them ki, why mid-career woman leaves the job, and some of the questions was like that because of the marriage, because of the relationship issue, because of the motherhood, or because of incapability of handling the growth profile. Like if you are going
Correct.
from a lower level management to the mid level management, or middle to senior level management, it is the incapability to manage that, or the technical ability to manage it, or the question was, the last question was like that he not able to manage the various roles and responsibility and basically expectation in the relationship. You cannot imagine 80% of the women has answered that they are not able to manage the expectation in the relationship, in the corporate and in the business. So just
Very
want
well.
to understand, you are a woman and you are a businesswoman, and of course you have been in corporate also. How difficult it is for a woman to manage the various expectation inside the house, outside the house, or in the corporate?
Very simple, I'll tell you. See, there are rules, you know, these are societal rules. We have ourselves created these rules. What is the difference in the rules for men and rules for women? I'll tell you. Expectation out of a man is that once he's out and qualified enough to get a job, he has to completely focus on his career. That is the primary thing for men. Secondary is to have a family, devote his time, energy, and everything else to the family. So for men, the primary is his career or the job or the role, and secondary is his home, family, and the other developmental areas.
Right.
Whereas when we talk about women, it is exactly vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
For women, the primary responsibility is to manage her house. This comes as soon as the woman is born. This is born with an intent that the woman is going to look after the house. She is responsible for the children. She is responsible for all the delegation of authorities of the house. She is someone responsible to make a home, the
Mm-hmm.
house a home. So this is the primary responsibility.
Right.
Secondary responsibility is, after fulfilling your primary responsibility, if you have any more time and energy, then you may go ahead and look up to your career prospects and profile prospects and your job and growth and all the other areas in her life.
Right.
So you understand the major difference in primary and secondary for men and women.
Right. 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 Yeah.
So now when we talk about this primary and secondary, most women are already so tied up and so
Mm-hmm.
overburdened with this primary responsibility that they
Mm-hmm.
don't even think of taking an extra burden of owning up the secondary responsibility. So that is when you see people taking either a long break or a career gap or a complete quit also at times.
Yes, what you say, it is very well, Joya. See, what other thing what we did it, like, we find it out, if that is the reason, women has to play dual role or three roles or four roles, different kind of roles. Like, one role you have to play for your husband and family, another for the babies, third can be for the corporates you are working or the business you are working. So
Hmm.
2, 3 roles simultaneously you have to play, and you have to pass in all. Like, you cannot fail in anywhere. So that is the prime responsibility. Like, if the women are in corporate or in business, they have to play. So how they should be able to do, like, my question is coming from the prospect, like, where you say that I've been in corporate for 23 years and I've seen uh, capability wise, not because, like, two women are in front of me, but I just wanted to say that I have find it out, women are more capable or at least equally capable than the males. Like, they are equally capable. Capability, there is no question. Like, they are capable, they are multitasking, there are, like, they have the all capability to be in the corporate, be in the business, and even lead and manage the business in a far better or equally better way, I can say. Then what they should be doing? Like, what is the opportunity? What is the solution they should be having? They should be continuing in their corporate career or a business career.
See, again, as you said, that women are far more capable multitaskers, and I would say men are also equally.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, I would say here, if we talk about the gender, then I'm not gender biased both the
No,
ways.
no, me
It's
too not. Yeah,
yeah, so men and women both are like unique creatures. Now
right,
they cannot compete with each other because both have their own unique traits. There's no
right.
competition. In fact, they both complement each other. In fact, they both
True.
complete each other. So
Right,
it's very
right.
important to we have that balance also. But when you talk about how do we actually do it, so see, there are women who are completing and they are very well established. They take care of their primary as well as secondary responsibilities.
Right.
They are so balanced. At the same time, some feel overwhelmed and they cannot move on to the secondary, and so they take a break. So now, what is the difference? I'll tell you. One thing, I have learned the hard way is every woman tries to be a super woman. Every woman, because every
Yeah.
woman feels like proving that I can do this for my family, I can do this for my, if you're married, I can do this for my husband, I will do some over things for my children, maybe for parents, for in-laws. And India mein to there is so much of joint family culture also. So every woman tries to prove that she is actually the best.
Right.
And same happens in the organization, proving part. A woman is trying hard to prove her worth everywhere, that I can do this, I can do this, and everywhere whenever she tries to prove herself, she's actually working very very hard in all
Right.
the areas, and she's
Yeah.
trying to prove herself as the superwoman. And here what happens is this extreme hard work is making her tired and stressed somewhere back of the mind.
Very true.
Whereas men do not have to prove themselves as superman. They are happy with a nice even an average going job with a nice average pay, coming home and serving the family.
Mm-hmm.
So women overburden, like, okay, simple thing I'll tell you, okay, so today is a Sunday and my family is home, so I will think, what should I make today, a biryani or this, or we order this, or how do we do it, how, lot of planning behind the mind. So doing says zyada, we are already occupied in the minds. So this lesson I learned the hard way is, first thing is to stop being the superwoman.
Right.
Stop being the superwoman.
Yes.
Believe in replacing yourself, believe in delegating your authorities.
Yes.
Now this has actually, see, I have learned these terms long ago. Delegation is something that will take you like to a higher level, and investing on yourself will do this. So knowing the terms, knowing the skills, and actually applying, there is a vast difference. Vast
Yes.
difference. When I
Yeah.
say delegating, it is not only in my office that I will delegate some authorities to my junior staff or something.
Mm-hmm.
It also comes at my own house where I stay. Simple. If
Right.
the house is balanced, only then you have that second step, you move out and then you can start balancing there as well.
Right.
If you're not happy in the house, you cannot perform or be happy in your workplace anyway. So now the
Yes.
delegation begins at a very, very early seeding age, I would say, seeding stage. Seeding stage mein, how do you put across yourself in front of your family? Are you very clear with what you're looking at from your family? What are your expectations? What do you want? And what are you going to do? What are your limitations? Up to what limit are you going to do? Have you ever thought of it? For all the women, I would say it's a very
Yes.
challenging thing. Every woman knows, I'm not happy with this, I'm not happy if my husband scolds me for this, I'm not happy maybe if I stay in a joint family, or I'm not happy if my children crib for every little thing, I'm not happy. So every woman knows what makes them unhappy. I'm not
Right.
happy if my boss is overwhelmed and he's over expecting out of me. So everybody knows what makes them unhappy, or what are the challenges in their life.
Right.
So instead of knowing what makes you unhappy, we should know what will make us happy, or what will make us balance those areas. What is it that I need?
Right.
So those areas you have to identify. For simple example, I'll tell you a personal example. I'll tell you, my husband believes that whatever I cook is something preferred by him. But if I spend 2 hours or 3 hours cooking in the kitchen, then am I giving my 3 hours of productive time, which I could have worked? And it is so
Right.
obvious. It's not just 3 hours. After 3 hours, I may be as a woman be exhausted, and I will not be able to focus more on my other areas. Isn't that true?
Right.
So now, okay, so do you think that is a solution? I'll tell my husband that I will not cook because this is taking my time and energy. I'll tell you what could be
No.
a simple solution is,
Yeah.
I can invest in some gadgets. Investment does not mean only investing on yourself on learning and training. That is
Right.
one part. You can invest on gadgets which will make your work faster. You can invest on house help, which will do 80% of your job, and you just do maybe the final touch up thing.
Right.
Like pre cooking and post cooking things can be handled by someone else.
True.
The
True.
focus is I have to cook, so maybe I can cook in another 20 minutes and just leave, and the pre and the post I've already delegated.
Right.
So दो purpose serve हो रहा है. One is I am cooking. The second thing is I have a lot of free time also without stressing or overburdening myself. So that
Yeah.
is kind of delegation. Delegation house help में भी होता है, workforce में भी होता है, and everywhere. To identify the exact areas which you want to delegate.
Yes, very well. I think you explain what we have based on my research. I have formulated some framework where we train and transform the women leadership. And the first step, what we train and provide is the preparation. And what is this preparation is like, it's a kind of a plan, what we call it in corporate. In corporate, you have a strategic plan for say 3 to 5 years, and then you have an annual operation plan for 1 year, and then you have a strategic plan for like day-to-day work, and then you have an action plan for a daily work. So what is the missing point I have realized with whether it is a male or whether it is a female? Today we are talking about the women's leadership. So what we have realized, very true what you are saying, that is somewhere they get engaged. Being a woman, you are the central point of the family, and you have to, by default, you have to get engaged in several things. If you are getting married, of course you have to be responsible for your husband. If you are going to have the kids, of course you are going to be responsible for, it is by nature, you are by default you are responsible for your kids. Like
Yes.
the personal things which is required to be there, you have to take care of the babies in the initial year or 2 or 3 somewhere. Same time, when you are in a corporate woman, you have to have a responsibility towards the corporate. So what
Organization. Yes.
happened here, and you are seeing, you are very clearly explained that we try to uh, believe supremacy here also, like I can do wonderfully this also, that also, and in a superman superwoman kind of concept bringing, what our methodology says that you plan it, like before doing anything, like while you are in a job. So when you're in job and now you're going to plan for a marriage, and now in India, like quite a mature level people are getting married. It is not like old days, like you are too young and you are getting married. So like you
Correct.
are getting married, and within 2 to 3 years you have to plan for the baby. So my, always we, what we see that the plan which is missing in your life and career, that creates the sudden emergency, because you don't have any plan and suddenly you got married and you thought that you are going to plan the baby, and baby is planned somewhere, and then you have to take a decision, like now what I should be doing, mentally, physically. Sometimes you can be asked by the doctor to be at the home. At the same time, you cannot put the effort. So if you are able to plan, you can delegate the work, or you can hire somebody where you can delegate other works, and you can have a proper communication with the corporates where you are working, or the business what you are doing. Like you can create this structure there, and you can communicate to the people, okay, this I'm planning to have my baby, and it will be happening that I might be disturbed for a couple of years. So what kind of a role I can be transferred, or I can be given, or I can be taken, so that my life will be comfort, I will be able to manage it. And that is the biggest thing, you won't require to prove anything, because it is all going as per your plan. Even you have to take a break from your career, you can plan it, okay, this is the 2 years or 3 years I'm going to take a break. But after break, what? When the baby is going to be for 2 3 years, you are going to do, invest at least 6 months in your career. You are going to do certain courses, or some capability building, some
Yes.
technical building, some knowledge building, and then you are going to try this kind of job. So
Correct.
I think this was the real missing point. Nobody does it. And unfortunately, none of the educational institution, none of the colleges, none of the university are providing anything like that. So how we should be able to do, and you have any idea, like what kind of any other things we should be doing it as a educationalist, or a person for the our listener who are listening to our talk show, how they should be planning, how they should be doing, what kind of thoughts they should be having in the mind, if somebody is in this situation now, where they are planning to have babies, or planning to get married, or
Mm.
they have challenges in their life going on currently, how they should be come out from that.
See, I'll tell you. I was blessed that I never had to take a career break at all, even after I had my children. I have two boys, so both are very young, 6 years and 3 years. So there were a lot of modifications on our end that we made. For example, अभी एक होता है monetary benefits and एक होता है survival benefits.
Survival, yes.
So survival benefits at this, you have to decide first what do you exactly want.
True.
If you try to balance both, it will not really work out. Both balancing is a different phase of life.
Right.
If you have decided to take a career slightly slower in your for a few years in your life, then what is important is for you to survive. Most women, they take a complete break, and when they come back, so it is again starting up from zero. So they have not survived those years. So what, or some women, what they do is they try to take all the monetary benefits, the money that comes in from their roles, and they are kind of juggling between the responsibilities, a baby also, a job also, and they are not giving their 100% neither here nor there. Organization is not happy with you. At the same time, you are overstressed, overburdened,
Right.
your other responsibilities. So here, this is a time of survival and not thinking about only monetary benefits. In fact, this is a time of investing more.
Right.
Simple example I'll tell you. See, whenever I had a very young child, I remember the 10th day I had to go to just sign from Mumbai to Pune. I had to go 10th day of my delivery when my first child was born. So I had to take a private car. I had to take my child just for a signature. I had to go and be present because that was the closing date for one of our tenders.
Yeah.
So the 10th day, what we did is we took a car, we went in, we did all the formalities, and we stayed there for a couple of days in the office, which we had in the other location, and we came back. Later on, what I did was there was multiple meetings, which I had to travel to some other places. The meeting must be just for 30 minutes or 1 hour. But I cannot leave my children on those days for like a day or the whole day, morning to evening. So I made certain investments. Maybe I completely modified my car backseat to a car bed, which became a complete bed, like a room space. So my children, so that was some investments which I made. And while I was in the meeting, I had someone like my maybe sometimes cousin or some caretaker or my mother who's taking care while I'm in the meeting, attending for 30 minutes or an hour or maybe 2 hours sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes I also invested extra. Maybe I'm flying to some other place. So जहाँ पर एक ticket का पैसा, the one ticket it would have cost me. I have paid for 3 tickets because I'm taking a caretaker as well as my child with me.
Right.
3 flight tickets. But I am some way surviving in that phase.
True.
I'm not off the beat.
Yeah.
So that is some extra investment you make. The next investment is when you're just surviving, you also have some extra time and money. I would say this is not the time to think of earning money. It is just to upskill yourself. So you just spoke about these training companies, institutions, and investing in the courses. So you should think of upskilling yourself very definitely at this point of time. But how do you upskill? Now, this I would talk for about 5 minutes. See, when I was into business very new, so the business was happening somewhat give and take of the money, a very small level. It was happening, but it was just not moving from where it was.
Right.
I was very new. I was a graduate at that time. I did my graduation in pharmacy, and after that, when I got into business, a lot of things I did not know how to do about business. No marketing, no finance, no handling of the customers and everything. Generalized business. So I thought I should learn these skills to take it to the next step. That is when the learning journey began. So to learn these skills, I took up an MBA. But MBA could not teach me the business skills. This is about choosing the right course for yourself. Now, why MBA? I thought MBA will teach me the business skills and I will apply in my business. But MBA, I thought, is a business degree which people usually take up to get a ideal job. There were campus placements, campus interviews. I did my MBA from Vadia.
Right.
So doing an MBA for a job. So that was again 90% are with the same mindset. Secondly, the ones who were teaching me in my MBA were the professors who were teaching me business, but they were themselves on roles of the institution.
Right.
Or maybe very few guest faculties. So it is very important what relevant course you take up in this. This is when you upskill yourself, how relevant is the course. And thereafter, in 2011, I took up my first business course, which was by a business who was operating, which was into business of L&D, and they were also upskilling us. And that is when the new insights and the new things, who's already done, who's already failed, who's already learned is teaching me. That added far more value. So that is, you have to decide on the companies or the training courses or the learnings. You have to choose very wisely that what is in it for me.
Yes, that is very relevant. As you said, I was just sharing my thoughts somewhere in another meeting. Uh, People's in a country like in India, they are behind education and qualification, anything. I'm not against having the qualification and education and all that. I was just asking the audience, I was in a college and I was asking them who requires your qualification, and qualification is just a mere eligibility criteria, or
Correct.
sometimes it is elimination criteria.
Hmm.
You see the majority of the employer who are the SME sector, they don't require education qualification, they require person who can do their work.
Correct.
Whatever is required, whether you are an MBA or an engineer or a graduate, doesn't matter. If you are a simple plus two or a graduate, if you are able to do the work, they are happy with that.
Skills are
So
required. Yes.
skills are required. At the same time, when you see the big multinational company like Facebook, IBM, Google, and all that, 40% their workforce are non-graduates. So the biggest company doesn't require qualification, the smallest company doesn't require qualification, then why you get qualification, which doesn't gives you any technical capability? And this is the biggest missing point. The third, the next question I had been thought of coming in my mind. There are many. I was just saying that the old research was saying that around 20 lakhs professionally qualified women in mid-career sitting somewhere in their home, they have to do the job somewhere because the financial conditions uh, is going to become tougher and tougher in the cities, big city. India is also going to become a costly place, and it is already has become. So it is not possible for one person to earn and manage the total family, which used to happen so far earlier. So the other part of the family has equally contribute. Equally doesn't means that they have to earn equal salary, but of course they have to contribute in a financial upliftment or bringing some kind of financial benefit to the house so that they can have a better standard of living, better education, better healthcare, better whatever they want to have a better in their life.
Correct.
So what these females, what they're sitting in their home, they are still in their between 30 to 40 or even lesser, or might be somebody is more than that, doesn't matter. Age is not a matter for the person who wants to work. So what they should be doing, what kind of trial they should be thinking of, what kind of upgrade they should be doing for their thing, and how they should be able to get into the corporate bag, or they should be able to start something on their own. So what they should be doing? Any idea you have coming in mind? We would like to talk to our viewers.
Okay, so you're talking about the women who are on break. What should they do if they have to come back
Come
to
back. Yes,
the
yes,
workforce? Yes.
yes, yes.
Okay, so if they're on a break already, first is to identify which are their areas of interest. They all know that I don't want to wish to sit at home today, but what do I wish to do? What we
True.
don't want, we know, but what we want is very, very important. So
Right.
first is about analyzing what you exactly want. What is your key strength? Which is the area you want to get into once you wish to get into work? Which is the position that you look at yourself? This all has to be actually written down. I cannot say, it cannot be in your mind. It has to be very well written and analyzed each step. So in order to be or start something from this position, what are the relevant skills that I need to develop in myself? Or where are the people, like where I wish to be? Who are those people? You have to first start following those people, understanding what they are doing, what is going well in their case, analyze those things. Then how do they get skilled? Maybe they can learn from the ones who are already there. So it always begins with an investing on yourself. But 90% people, what they think is, let me earn first. Once I start to earn, no, I will invest on myself.
Yes.
But universally, the principle works exactly the opposite.
Right.
You have to first invest. Only the invest karenge tabhi to return aayega. Only then we are going to get the return. But people want the returns first and then they say investment. So it is against the principle.
Yes.
The moment the women understand this, that they begin to invest on their skills, it will never be a waste. They never know what qualification, when is it going to be used.
Right. See.
So yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Carry on.
yes, that's what. So they have to begin to invest. Second is to delegate on their responsibilities. See, some responsibilities can be fulfilled without them. So they have to first come out of it. जब तक वो super women वाले mode में होंगे that I can do this also, this also, this also. You can do is one thing, but whether you should do or you should not do should be analyzed.
True.
Can do तो बहुत चीजें होती है, but should do whether or not has to be smartly taken care of.
Yeah, the planning should be there, like, what he should be doing, what he should be delegating. It is not like doing or not doing, it can be delegated to somewhere or some cost of money. And when your input ratio is more than the output, it is always worth it. Like, whatever you are able to expend for that delegation, for that hours, if you are able to earn more somewhere, it is always a wise decision to invest in those kind of delegations in a non-productive work or a routine work or a household work where you can keep the lower paid employee who can take care of this. And that is the way whole the organization structure has been created. See, we work in corporate, but we don't try to get any learning from the corporate. What happens in a corporate, you see the different level of peoples are there, different level of employees are there for different pay scale and different salary. In house also, there are different level of work is there. So in spite of the way you are saying it, the same way I say, in spite of being a superwoman and doing all this work, you delegate, you identify the work which is non-productive routine, and if you are able to save a couple of hours of that, and if you invest those hours in other productive work at your level, your per hour earning will be far better there.
Yes.
And that will be substituted by a lower paid job by somebody else.
Definitely.
So you are creating an employment for yourself also. At the same time, you are creating an employment for somebody else also. So might be another woman who is a lesser privileged, she will be getting another job in your company by handling your kitchen, by handling your household, by handling your babies, by handling your elders in your house. Like, they can take care of. At the same time, you can put your efforts and you can earn a better per hour rate. These are the analysis, like, unfortunately, people are not able to do at their level. And another thing, what they were saying is, I totally agree. In fact, I keep on saying to my, whoever comes to my GHU and session, the biggest problem for the people in this earth is that they doesn't know what is their problem.
Correct.
This is the biggest problem. You are saying that they should able to write. It is not able to possible just to think of. So the problem is that what the hell they should write? They should be knowing what they should be write. See, I get very frequent calls, and because of our circle, a lot of people they recommend also. This is the lady, she is looking for job. Can you help it out? I say, what you will able to do? कुछ भी चलेगा सर, मेरे को तो अभी नौकरी करनी है, आप कुछ भी दे दो। बोला कि कुछ भी करके आप खुश नहीं रह पाएंगे मैडम। बोलते कि नहीं, अभी तो क्या है ना, अभी मेरे को कुछ भी करना है। फिर क्या है ना, 6 महीने के बाद आप बोले कि ये कुछ भी तो मेरे को नहीं करना था, now I cannot able to do, and then you start playing a different role, and that annoys the employer also. You have to see that the situation we are facing currently, economy is global economy is down because of this quarantine and this pandemic situation. There are a lot of good people are losing the job. Companies are not able to earn. Everybody is impacted. I have another company of consulting business that is got impacted. We are impacted in each and every, all the business and employers are impacted. So having a proper preparation at your level, writing, what you are saying is, I totally agree. Writing, what is the priorities, what is the rates, what you should be able to do, what you should not be able to do. And the topmost thing, what you were saying, that what you can do, finding it out that.
Yes.
That is the best part. They can have it. What is your capability? What is your skills, competencies, and what is your passion? I also say that that is also very important. If they are able to find it out, then they will be able to get a better job. And if not better job, they can start something on their own. They can engage. Nowadays, working from home situations are coming. And you are capable. If you are capable, if you are able to deliver the result, you will be able to engage for a lesser hours of time, and still you can be productive, and you can earn some money and some kind of generate income for your yourself. So very true. And I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Joya coming in and having a discussion with her, our audience who are live on our Facebook page, and many more people who are going to see our recordings. They will be, of course, be very helpful. Any so far question is there, Swarnika? We can answer it, or we can close this.
I think so. It was pretty insightful, and we covered everything that we should have covered in the show. So I believe despite the numerous attempts to promote gender equality in the workforce in the corporate world, we still have a long way to go. We are still not where we should have been. And I believe it is important to encourage more women to join the workforce and take up leadership positions to ensure that there is a fair gender composition in the corporate world in an organization, be it any organization, any industry. So I would like
Swarnika, what you said, it is very right. See, nowadays, those days has gone. Especially when you see our GHU, you have more female than the males.
Yes, sir.
So you see, people are promoting females. So I think the females and the women, they have to take their responsibility in their hand. What Joya was saying, I think I totally agree. They should be able to prepare themselves. The days has gone, those days. Yes, I can believe that at the lower level might be some, because of the situation, the kind of work or nature of unskilled work or semi-skilled work is there, where it is very difficult, in a factory environment and all that, for a female and women to work. But in office environment and all that, if the women are capable, they have the opportunity to grow up to any level. Correct. And you have seen the data, it is increasing now. Lot of improvement is there in India also at the leadership level. Lot of women are becoming entrepreneur in India. That is the good, exciting thing. But again, we will do some other talks on that, on the empowerment and entrepreneurship for the women. How they should be able to sustain in the entrepreneurship. Again, the 80% of the businesses are going to be closed when they start the business. So that is another point. But I think now balancing the gender in the hand of the women only. My final say will be like that. If they have all the liberty, they are capable. They are not incapable. Earlier, say the starting level, the gender population is 48-52. So whatever the gender balance is there, the same workforce joins. It means there is no partiality there. 50% of the women are joining the workforce. Somewhere, because of the family issues, because of the, expectation in relationship somewhere, and lack of planning, something is failing in between. So if they can plan it properly, and of course, when I say plan, so whatever all Joya was saying, everything is a part of the plan. Writing it, planning it, taking a, cut in the pay might be if it is required. If you can go and talk to your employer, if you find I'm carrying my baby and I would like to continue with that, and even you pay me 50% of your salary, it's okay for me. I don't think any employer is going to say no.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, so you can say that I want to continue, but you give me a lesser pay because I'm not going to be too productive like I used to be before my motherhood and all that. So I think people will think for that. And so these are the initiative, you have to take it from the people's side, and everybody has to take the responsibility in their own hand, to grow in their career or the business, whatever they are doing it.
Definitely, sir. We need to take responsibility and we need to have a concrete plan to act on. Yes. That is quite important. Yes. I would also like to inform all our viewers that Great Human University has a women leadership program, which is based on 4 years of extensive research, and we guarantee assured results. So please check our course out if you get a moment. And I would like to thank Dr. Zoya for your time today. Thank you for your time, ma'am. And it was lovely speaking with you and getting your opinions on women leadership in the corporate world. And thank you, Dr. Gautam, for leading the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swarnika.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll meet again next week with another important topic and yet another corporate leader to guide you with their expertise. Stay connected with Great Human University and Navi Mumbai Chamber of Business and Industries for updates on upcoming shows. Until then, stay safe. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.